And we're live. Hello, everybody. So this is we're back with the V5 Dystopian Vampire game. At the moment, we seem to be missing a few players. One of them is in America, enjoying herself, which we don't blame her for. Ben, not sure where Ben is at the moment, but maybe he'll join us later. So yeah, we are back doing our crazy, futuristic, messed up, cyberpunk, dystopian, obscurity, Vampire the Masquerade V5 game, where it all went a bit wrong last time. So what we'll do first is we'll go around and remind, well, the people who are still here. We'll remind everyone who we are, what we're doing, and things. But yeah, I am David. I'm the drunken storyteller. I am not drinking because it's only 5 o'clock, so that's not going to happen. I'm too old for day drinking. Then we're going to have Tom is joining us again. Tom, remind us who you're playing and what clan you are in.
Greetings. I'm Tom, and also I am Flex tonight. Flex is your friendly neighborhood Malkavian, and I see myself as the spiritual and emotional heart and center of our coterie, and I'm here keeping everybody together. And I'm not recovering from a hunger frenzy.
Oh, honest. Yes. We'll recap the story when we get around to going everywhere. Next, we have Paul has joined us, our player who has decided to join Oblivion
from the shadows. So my name's Paul. I am appropriately, given the state of my video, playing a La Sombra. So I'm a Jake the Shadow Mage. I don't know quite what I'm doing. Probably at the moment, trying not to disappear into Oblivion, but also trying to work out what the hell is going on with my gang friends, given what's just transpired in the club. So very much want to know what's happened there.
And as you have just heard there, we are having sound issues with Paul, so you may occasionally hear
apologies
some noises coming from Paul.
It's the voices from beyond the abyss.
Oblivion is speaking to you. And Alexi is possibly around somewhere. Alexi is our friendly gangrel. He's playing a gangrel, isn't he, Ben?
Simitsi,
that's it. Our friendly blood flesh crafter Simitsi, who's probably poking the werewolf at the moment, which is why they're not here. But we will endeavour to carry on with this. Mariana, our happy-go-lucky, absolutely wonderfully bouncy Toreador is on vacation. So cool. We had some fun last time. We explored this new setting that I've created here. And it is just basically, let's just play vampire in a silly setting, really. Let's not take it seriously and have a bit of cyberpunk dystopian weirdness with it. So our coterie, who all know each other, we're meeting a friend in the market who had said that they knew where there was a club where they might be able to feed. And they eventually found their way to this club. And got in there, and lo and behold, it was a wonderful time. Everybody had so much fun there, especially the werewolf who turned up, and possibly the Second Inquisition who also turned up. So yeah, it all went a bit sideways in this club. Most of the humans who were there to offer themselves for feeding are dead. Some of them managed to escape out the back, but you could hear gunshots out of the back of the club, so likely dead. You were attacked by an emaciated werewolf. who Mariana really didn't know what to do with. But Alexei certainly did, and very nearly died, because one-man show against a werewolf is a really bad idea, apparently. But you did manage to dispatch the werewolf eventually. I think Flex has a little bit of a hunger problem as a result of this. So yeah, this is where we are. You are inside this club, deep underground, away from the market, away from what you thought was the Second Inquisition and their purge of the vampires that they keep going on about, because obviously vampires don't exist anymore again, but still. Yeah, so you have been left. The room is now deathly quiet. Occasionally you hear this drip of this thick, sickly fluid off the walls or something. And just for those new people again here, this is a horror game. I completely forgot about this. I see we have a new listener. We are playing a horror game. This is based in a dark and dystopian world. So a werewolf has turned up and ripped things apart, and they have killed things, and there's a lot of dead people around. We have gone through as a group, and we have discussed lines and veils. We have safe words in place as a group, so we know where to take things. But if you as viewers are uncomfortable with anything that we ever do feel free just to kind of disappear for 5-10 minutes and come back when you are feeling better. I'm not going down the usual lines of what Vampire does. It's kind of probably going to be a bit more visceral body horror than usual. So if you are not okay with that, then you have been warned. This probably has a lot of blood in it. Not like the vampire way blood, but nasty dead thing blood. Anyway, enough of that. So yeah, we have gone through all that. The warnings are there, and we will take a break halfway through. So yes, Tom and Paul, or I should say Flex and Jake. Ooh, I've got a message. Is this? Ooh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Flex and Jake, you are nicely sat around this room, which is the lights are flashing, like an old club. Some loud music was playing, but the sound system has been shot to pieces. And the lights are still there, but all you can hear is that dripping of the thick blood off the wall and off the lights in the ceiling down onto the floor. You can hear Alexei poking at the werewolf on the floor as to maybe they're pulling the skin off or they're doing something with it. Mariana seems to have disappeared somewhere, and all you can hear in the wind, and almost as if there's an echo kind of in the air, you can hear her voice say, "You are the artists of your own life. Don't hand the paintbrush to anybody else." So yes, how are you two feeling? And this is Vampire. How do you feel? And we'll start straight away with that stereotypical vampire thing. How are you feeling? And what are you going to be doing?
Terrified, I think it's fairly safe to say. I want to look at Flex and see how he's looking and ask him, dude, how are you doing? You're not looking great.
Oh, I'm doing fine. It's all right. I just a sec. Just a sec, baby. Yeah. Great. I'm just doing great. Hi.
Should I ask where you filled that glass up?
I found it on the ground. Somebody drank from it, but I think it's all right. It was sticky on the edges, but I'm dead. I can't get sick.
Okay, well that's probably a good thing. I'm kind of gonna glance at the werewolf and then glance at the glass and go, "Do you want me to go and fill it up for you?" And in my head, I'm thinking, "Is this a good idea?" David, the other thing I wanted to do was maybe cast about with a bit of sense the unseen.
Ooh, okay, yes, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, I think it's free, and I can roll wits and specs if I want to make a roll for it.
Yeah, please do make me a wits and specs. Since the unseen is for, let me just get the exact things that you might see.
Yeah, I'll do the roll, and I'll yeah, one sec.
Don't remember what that's under now. Celerity. Nope. If anyone can remember in the chat what Sense the Unseen is, what power it is, please remind me. I have not played Vampire for a while, so I can never remember what ones are what. It's awful.
It's Auspex 1.
Yeah, Soul Switch 1, that's what I thought.
And I got 3 successes.
Okay. Against an entity actively trying to stay hidden.
Also, as I do this, I'm kind of borrowing Flex's glass, if he'll let me, and taking it over to see if there's any open arteries on the werewolf I can fill it from for him.
Yeah, there's definitely werewolf blood around that you can find. There's nothing you're going to need to do with that. But yeah, so with your Sense the Unseen, you do pick up something. And it's not something you have felt for a while.
Okay.
It's...
I'm intrigued now.
You remember a time back in the early days when you were originally turned, when you were originally embraced, and you'd heard of the Tremere, and you had heard of the Hecate, and you had heard of this blood sorcery.
Now I am interested.
And then you questioned your sire about this. And they told you that it wasn't just vampires who had access to certain rituals. You get a sense of something other, some form of sorcery has been acted upon something in this room, but it is not what you know as blood sorcery. And it tickles that memory in the back of your mind that maybe there was once stories you heard of humans who could wield powerful magics. But you had only heard these as stories and did not know that this was real. Like fairy tales and the Fae.
Okay. Yeah, that's very much something that Jake could be interested in. I'm taking the blood back to Flex, and I'm gonna kind of Flex. Can you smell anything strange around here? There's a touch of magic in the room. Yeah, I smell something that's not us.
I'd like to smell the blood.
In the cup?
Sure. Just the blood in the cup, nothing else.
Yeah. Okay. you going to use any powers on that, or are you just going to just stick your nose in and take a deep, deep inhale?
Well, I could apply heightened senses, but I'd really like to get a premonition.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
I've forgotten which powers do you have, Tom?
I have heightened senses. Auspex 1, Auspex 2, premonition. Auspex 3, scry the soul.
Yep,
And
you can certainly do a resolve or specs then for premonition. I am going to make you make a rouse check here though, because you are so hungry. Also, just for everybody else around, remind everybody how hungry you are at the moment, Flex.
well, I ended with drinking a room of people. That's it. Actually, I don't know if I stopped frenzying by drinking that poor woman on the ground.
I'll say you slaked 2 hunger from drinking.
Great. Then I'm at 3.
Cool.
So
I'm hunger 3 as well.
Okay.
I'm going to roll resolve plus auspex first. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, because you're not. Yeah, it says 3 or 1 rouse check, but I'll do it for 3 because you're not frenzying anymore. So.
Oh, great. So I got a 6, a 8, 2 9s, and a 10.
That's all successes. I'm not going to bother remembering what they were. I think it's like 5 successes, isn't it? So yeah, as you take as you inhale the scent, the iron scent of this coagulating blood, it does have something different about it. There are notes within it that you recognize as that animalistic trait of a werewolf. It's the iron, but there's also hints of the earth in there, and there's hints of the umbra. It's not something you've ever really encompassed, but as soon as you smell it, you know what it is because of the tales that you've heard of the werewolf clans outside the walls. So you instantly know that yes, this is werewolf blood, and it will slake your thirst. You will enjoy every drop of it. Okay. So you know that drinking it will make you feel amazing, but it might also make you feel slightly different. You're not sure how, but it will definitely make you feel different. But above that, you notice that there's something else in that blood that you are smelling. And it's not quite what Jake has told you. There is no magic in this blood. But there is definitely a change to it. It has been changed somehow. It has been perverted somehow. Not magically, not spiritually, but physically it has been changed. And you see, as you smell it and you look over at the dead werewolf, you also notice something shining in the werewolf. You notice that the werewolf has actually also physically been changed. There appears to be implants on the werewolf.
I do have a tiny bit in medicine. I could try, if I can get Alexi to kind of shimmy out of the way, I can have a look at, see if I can work out. I don't know, how are you, Flex? Are you any better with that kind of thing?
I'm pretty good at medicine stuff, but
You do it. I don't particularly want to touch it.
It's not that I don't want to touch it. It's like It's like standing on the edge of a cliff and it's looking really nice down there, you know? And it will be a great experience, but I don't know what will happen if I touch the ground.
All I can say is, I'm here for you. I can hold your hand.
It does smell good. It doesn't smell like it's actually going to. It doesn't smell off. It doesn't smell bad. In that kind of sense, you don't get a feeling that it will hurt you.
Not tainted blood.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't smell tainted. It just smells like someone's done something to it.
Here's the plan. We will store this away for like, I don't know, mornings like this. And then we will walk our way over there and we're going to have a really, really insightful look into this werewolf. And then, I mean, it's a pretty big guy, isn't it? It has lots, big amounts of blood. I mean, it could be dinner time.
I'm feeling dinner time, definitely. Have a look first and see what you think.
I'm gonna think a lot. What gonna I think? Intelligence or wits or something else?
Depends kind of what you're trying to do as to what you'll be using. So
I want to go over to the werewolf, sit down in front of it, and actually being really careful and trying to get some of the implants out of this werewolf, and I want to know how deep they go.
So you're gonna poke the shiny metal bits, basically.
Actually, I want to poke the flesh around the shiny metal bits.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll use intelligence and
medicine sounds great.
I'm either thinking medicine or technology, to be fair.
I think it would definitely be medicine.
Go on, do medicine. Because you're poking the body, not the bits, not the shiny bits.
I got a 10, a 9, and a 1.
So that's 2 successes. What you can tell by looking at them and getting close to them, you can see that they are definitely grafted into the werewolf. They're mostly around the base of the spine, not base of the spine, base of the neck. And it looks like they may be feeding into the brain. Other than that, you can't really tell much with that. So they're not on the surface of the skin like they've been bolted onto the surface of the skin. It looks like the skin has maybe grown over the edge of it, so they may have been in there for a while. But that's about all you can tell. And there's about 4 of them, and they're about that big, so 2 or 3 centimeters square.
Is it a common thing to have cyber implants in our time?
Only the rich, only the surface dwellers, and probably your Second Inquisition agents. I can speak.
I don't know anything about monster puppies, but I feel like they should.
So these monster puppies.
I mean, they always seemed like the free-spirited guys, kind of. I don't know why we don't get along, actually. And he got something in his neck, and is this like in their spirit to to manipulate their flesh like this? I mean, the blood is different than it should be. The body looks like something that shouldn't be. He was in a place where he shouldn't be at a time when we were there, and Second Inquisition was all over the place.
It's not looking good, is it?
I think it's not a coincidence.
No, I am inclined to agree. Do you think this was intended as a tool to get us?
I mean, they were prepared to get us without it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do you think that? And I kind of glance about nervously. Do you think maybe the Second Inquisition weren't after us? They were after the people here, because that's who they were shooting. And maybe whoever's in charge of the werewolf is somebody different, and that's who's after us.
I mean, they closed the doors behind us.
So, yeah.
Are we actually locked in still? I go over to Alexis and I shake him massively. Are we still locked in?
Alexi goes and checks the door, because obviously Mariana has disappeared. So you don't know. You could be locked in. You could not be locked in. So yeah, Alexi disappears to go check the doors. Comes back and informs you that both front and back doors are open.
I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like a drink if we're going to have it, and then getting out of here.
Because people would like to know if everybody was dead inside and the experiment worked as they planned. Yeah, you got a point there. Yeah.
Shall we?
We totally shall.
Cool. We shall, David.
Which was that, front or back? Sorry.
Oh, can we drink? Can we drink first? We want to drink first.
Yes. There is certainly lots of blood around for you to drink. Are you drinking werewolf blood, or are you drinking coagulating human blood?
Oh, I feel like it'd be rude not to take the the canine opportunity.
Oh, okay.
Much as Jake is nothing if not interested in the arcane and the occult, and when he's presented with the arcane or the occult, his first instinct is always to engage. So yes.
So yes, you get yourself. How if you explain how you drink, and then I'll tell you what happens.
I think in Jake's case, he's always been fairly au fait with what he is, so I feel like he's fairly hands-on with his feeding. So I think he would literally. I think the only thing that would put him off in this case is the fur.
There's also quite a strong odor of unwashedness about it.
Yeah, so maybe kind of going and finding a tankard or so. Yeah, well, either that or going and finding a tankard and kind of tearing a wound open somewhere on it, and then kind of filling that and then drinking. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How much are you drinking? Actually, no, it doesn't matter, because are you going to drain it, or are you just going to take a sip?
I'll take a good amount. I think at Hunger 3, I don't think I'd be able to do anything else.
At Hunger 3, you can either take a sip or you can drain it. Every sip of werewolf blood, because it is so potent, removes 2 hunger.
Ooh.
So going down from 3 to 1, to get to 0, you obviously have to always drain. So
I think probably just to sit there. I don't feel the need to go back down to 0 necessarily, and also I don't want to deprive anybody else of any. So yeah.
Yeah, Alexi is like, no, I want some. Leave it for me. Alexi will be down to 1 hunger as well next time, and I think there's enough of the werewolf blood around the room that it would be kind of hard to drain the whole thing.
Cool.
But
yeah, just a sip to take enough to take me back to 1 then.
Yep. So as you do this, you feel it oddly. It's something you've not felt for a long time when you have drunk blood. Or actually, you've not felt for a very long time anyway, being a vampire. You feel a warmth trickle down your throat. As it comes down and it enters into you, you feel it start to spread. You can actually feel the blood moving through you as it fills in your veins, and it warms up your body. And it brings you feel the life and vitality of this beast, of the power that it had within you. You can also feel its suppressed rage, the rage that was within it, that it died feeling. You also get the feeling that the rage was artificial, that it was feeling, that it was pushed to levels that it never would go to before. And this rage is now inside you, and you can feel it making you angry. You are fighting back now, not just the beast within you and the hunger within you. You are fighting the rage of the werewolf, knowing of Gaia and what is happening to Gaia and the Umbra. So, yes, in game's terms, you have slaked 2 hunger, but because of this rage, it is now harder for you to resist frenzy. You need to get. So it says it increases the difficulty to resist frenzy by 1. So depending on what you're rolling at the time, it's 1 more. It's 1 harder to resist frenzy.
Sure.
You become slightly paranoid and are short-tempered as the rage floods through you. I could give you a compulsion, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to make it that bad.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that for the moment. Nothing else in there.
No worries. I'll kind of glance at Flex. Are you drinking?
You can ask him politely, or are you going to go, Flex?
Drink. I feel possibly the latter. But come on, mate. Seriously.
Seeing what this does to Jake, seeing that Alexi is still pretty torn up, and Mariana been away, I get the strong idea that I must be the brains of the coterie right now.
Surely you're always the brains anyway.
And so I will kindly decline the offer of Monster Puppy. And I go with that one. And I pick up a person blood sac from the ground and empty it.
Yep. Because they're already dead and there's probably been a lot of holes in them, I'll let you go down again to 1. It won't completely remove all your hunger. I'm playing the frenzy rule slightly wrong here. You probably should have just gone off and randomly drunk everybody dry, but I kind of, as I say, we're butchering vampire.
We are playing. Well,
So yeah, you're both down to hunger 1. Jake, you've obviously felt the weirdness of the blood within you.
Yeah. I feel like when I've finished, I'd kind of stand and kind of mop off my lips, and then I'd glance around, and it's perhaps at this point that it would kind of dawn on me that Marianne is in fact not here. Maybe a little, I don't know, confused. I don't know. I feel confusion and concern warring with irritation that she would abandon us or run off without saying anything.
Yeah, she might well have remembered that she's got a poetry reading to go to or something.
This is true.
in the middle of a bloodbath.
It's very Marianne.
This is Marianne we're talking about. That's quite within character.
Cool. Also, could you again, Jake? Could you make me another Sense the Unseen roll, please?
I can.
You can use wits or resolve.
I will do wits because I'm slightly wittier. I got 2 successes.
Okay. The rage within you heightens your senses. You feel the animalistic urges of the werewolf as well.
Yep.
And it heightens your all your senses, which is also your connection to oblivion and the magics and the weirdness that place is.
Yeah.
You become aware of the wounds on some of the mortal victims seem to be. They seem to smell funny, and it's not just the actual smell. Because of the heightened sense, you can actually smell that they're not right, but that your connection to other.
Yeah.
You can also smell that there's possibly something else in there from this blood magic that you sensed earlier.
Okay.
And it appears to only be on certain victims that have died from a cut.
Okay. I'm going to kind of go over to the nearest one. I'm going to kind of beckon Flex and say, there's something odd about this one. And kind of point. So is it a visible cut, you say?
It appears to be a cut, yes.
Yeah. I do. I don't know. Could I examine it in an occult sense? Would that give me anything?
So you want to use intelligence and
occult just to see if it chimes in with any kind of law I'm aware of, maybe?
You certainly can.
Cool.
Maybe we can do it like this. We're gonna look both at it, and we're gonna throw ideas at each other and make a think tank out of this situation.
Vampire V5, the think tank version.
Let's do it. What did you have in mind for the tank?
I would invite you to my brain network, but it is pretty empty, and I start feeling that the emptiness is returning. And I just gonna put on my headphones. I can still listen to you. Please don't think that I'm rude.
That's fine. I'm used to Flex's headphones being a permanent fixture.
Great. So I have no skill in occult, but if there was anything else I could do to help, I would be happy.
You can do a wits or intelligence and medicine again if you want.
Perfect.
I got 3 successes. and I'm wondering whether I want to spend a willpower point to see if I can get any more.
Wait to see
I
what
also got
Flex
3.
gets.
Say that again, David.
I was going to say, wait to see what Flex gets.
I got 3.
Oh, so, okay. We'll say, yeah, because you're a think tank and you're throwing ideas around between you and looking at the wound and things and using both of your knowledges. Flex, you realise that this is not a wound that has been made by a weapon. You know of no weapon that can make this wound. Jake, however,
Yes.
you are aware that this has been caused by magic.
Okay.
And that the wound is very likely poisoned.
Before or pre or post battle, do I think?
Let me just have a quick check.
Do I have any idea of origin beyond it being kind of quote unquote not blood magic?
Um,
I'm kind of from your previous descriptions, I'm getting overtones of either like human magic users or fey magic users. But I'm kind of leaning more towards human magic users.
Yeah, you can't obviously tell whether it's fey or human, but you're very much aware that somebody has done something to this person to cause them to bleed, openly bleed, in the presence of vampires.
Okay.
And you're aware that the blood is probably very, very, very bad.
More parts to the plots.
Since we are in a constant exchange of our findings, so this person was poisoned, you said, and it
Looks
was.
like it.
You don't know whether as a thing here, the poisoning. You don't know whether it was given to them previously or it's that. All you can tell is that the wound and the blood of the wound is poisoned and is probably very bad for kindred and probably human alike.
That's what I was getting to. I might misunderstand something on purpose, but the thing is, this person was cut open probably before the fight started, as others like us were here, and then you know, it's like you can't just walk by somebody bleeding and not bite them, and this it could mean that this is like a vampire killing ground. It has people with guns on the outside.
Yeah.
It has a rage manipulated werewolf inside, and then somebody puts fucking canine poison in here.
Yep.
Is it like, how can we kill them the fastest? What will kill the most? It's like...
It feels like they were trying to cover all their bases.
Maybe we will overlook somebody.
On the air, as you are kind of having this conversation with your vampire senses, you also start to get a whiff coming from the back of something very, very acrid. Slightly tinny, slightly metallic. It kind of resembles blood, but maybe some blood that has been cooked. It's not like you can't smell cooked flesh or anything, but you can certainly smell cooked blood on the air.
I think they're gonna break the think tank now.
Fucking
we should grab all of our friends and don't take the doors. Is there any other way out of here?
I don't know. Is there?
I could do a reverse break-in roll to see if there's another way out.
Reverse breaking roll. Does that mean you get the opposite number of dice? You
Well,
just roll
yeah, no.
all of the dice instead of.
I'm just thinking I could do a kind of, if I were going to break into, well, if I were going to break into here, how would I do it? And so therefore, where might there be an exit that we've not spotted?
Yeah, you can certainly do that.
I've got so that's kind of stealth, and then for my breaking
Larceny?
speciality. And what would I?
I'd usually say larceny is kind of like the breaking and entering kind of thing.
Okay.
And also you can use wits or intelligence.
Sure. Okay. I'll do wits. No. The dice say no.
No, then yeah, that's the easy answer. There is no other way.
I got 2 Alexis-based solutions.
Okay.
The first one
Well,
is directing Alexei towards a wall and let him punch through. The second one is making him use his spooky flesh crafting stuff on the werewolf and turn it into a barricade breaching stuff thingy.
Ooh.
well, neither of the exits were. He came back and said both the exits are open. Do I remember?
Yeah.
So we could actually go out the other side. I don't know. What do you think?
I think trap, but on the other hand, we don't have much time, so maybe no flesh crafting.
Yeah, I'm going to say no flesh crafting because I don't seem to have the rules for flesh crafting at the moment, so they're not on the one that I'm using for my rules.
Shall we just make a swift exit, and do we want to go towards the acrid smell or away from it?
Wait.
I vote away as well. Let's go away.
Officially, flat members vote. I see 3 people. Everybody is in favor of going away from the acrid smell.
Alexi
Awesome.
gets very, very grumpy and very, very angry and wants to go towards the smell. but without Marianne around, he actually listens for once and follows. Doesn't feel like he needs to make a point.
Great. So
let's leave.
Leave away from the smell, and as soon as we reach the doors, I would very like to have a peek before running into open fire.
So you're just going to stick your head around the door, trying to be stealthy?
Sounds sane. Do we have? I don't know. This place is torn apart. Are there any broken pieces of mirror around?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, there's a bit. There's metal and things around that you could use to kind of maybe see outside.
Awesome. I'm gonna do this.
Cool.
And I'm gonna lift my headphones again to enjoy the silence and heightened senses.
Mm-hmm. Okay, make me a heightened senses roll then, please. Which I forget. Oh, no, not animal. That's all specs. Which resolve? It's free.
Wits and resolve. Wits and resolve. 6 times. I got 2 10s.
2 10s. That gives you 4 successes because that is a critical.
Yay!
Yay! You see everything. You find like the most perfect piece of mirrored glass that is around on the floor. And as you go up to the entranceway that you came in, you see the guard who was on the door. He's obviously dead. but there's no sign of how he died. There's no visual wound on him. There's no bullet holes. There's no knife marks. There's no bruises on him. He's just dead in the corner. As you poke your head out, or use the mirror out through the door to kind of see what's going on out there, the corridor, which obviously looks kind of like the entrance to NQ64, which is behind me, neon-y lit and graffitied. It's empty. There's no one down there, and you don't see anything other than this one body of the guy who let you in.
And there are no people at stakeout or.
Nope. You are alone on that corridor.
Okay, the sneaky part starts now. I'm gonna sneak down the hallway.
Cool.
Maybe you should be more sneaky than I am.
I can put my Cloak of Shadows on.
You're pretty good at this.
Yeah. I shall don my Cloak of Shadows.
Cool. Cloak of Shadows is the one which allows you to move and hide?
Yeah, it's like a kind of...
It's the one as long as you stay in the shadows, you're okay, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I can... basically, it gives me an extra 2 dice to stealth or... Well, I can use it 2 ways, either to be stealthy or to intimidate. It can enhance my kind of intimidation rolls as well. So if I want to make a stealth roll, I get 2 extra dice.
Yes, it's really, really well written in the book. It just says, follow the general rules for Obfuscate. The effect lasts until the user moves or they are detected by other means.
Oh, okay.
But I generally play it as long as you stay in the shadows.
Yeah, even if it's
don't
just
do
a bit of
anything
shadow.
overt.
Yeah.
Yep,
Cool.
cool. And it's free.
Yep.
So you're sneaky. Yeah, it's unseen passage, which is generally the one that allows you to move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Cloak of Shadows
allows you to hide in the corner. Silence of Death allows you to be very, very silent. And then Unseen Passages basically combines the two together.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think the Oblivion one is designed to be maybe not quite as complete
you're using Oblivion
as the Obfuscation, but it does enhance your stealth supernaturally.
I can't be bothered to try and read the Oblivion rules while we're playing, so I'll just say yes. Yeah, that's fine. You're sneaky. +2 to sneaky sneaks. But as I say, there is no one down the corridor. So are you going to head back towards the market, where your friend Jake DZ told you how to get to this place? Are you going to head back to your hovel, whatever it's called? I've forgotten the name of the place where vampires live.
Palatial Mansion.
The place which says "Live, Laugh, Love" on the wall.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's also a air bunker. Something like this.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where would you want to go? Where do you want to sneak to?
I don't know about flex, but I feel like maybe back to the market just to have a look-see.
We know that they watch the market. Maybe we should go someplace else. And it's not home. It's the third location. And the third location will be
the moon.
No, there's so many. I think it would be a rather populated place. Oh yeah, it's like a area where they have a lot of workshops,
Like
and where you can find.
district, maybe.
Yeah. but it's all very makeshift, and all the big machinery doesn't work anymore, and you have more or less tiny booths where all the crafts people are assembled and doing their works, and it's there are a lot of people coming and going just as in the market, but
It's a
well,
different type of market. It's a
Yeah.
workers' market rather than a general's market where there are blacksmiths there, there'll be jewelers there, there'll be people who make weapons and sell weapons. It's kind of like your black market, I suppose.
and since there is some, you mentioned the weapons, I think underground security should be higher, and it's not as easy to smuggle any things in there which could make stuff complicated, like heavy weaponry or
Yeah,
so.
it's every town that you have been to, or every large location that you have been to in your travels to try and stay away from the Second Inquisition. You've heard of places like this, and you've been to places like this, and you know that these are the regions where the Second Inquisition do not go. They cannot get in because everybody knows who they are. These are run by the human gangs. Quite often turf wars between the human gangs that get quite violent, and the Second Inquisition is going to leave them alone to shoot themselves and run their own drug trades and violence out of there. Vampires generally they use those to hide in because it's you can pick clean the fallen bodies every now and then, but they're also occasionally quite dangerous for vampires as well because, well, a vampire sells well to the Second Inquisition. So, but you are aware of these places. You've been to a few. Jake has contacts within his graffiti friends, so he might know a few people to kind of avoid and those ones to be friendly with.
I might be able to point us to what did you have a particular service in mind, Flex, or are you just thinking somewhere we can hang out safely whilst we work out what's going on?
I think I want to hang out.
Sure. When we get there, I should be able to find us a safe space, I reckon, hopefully.
Yeah, okay.
Which might also feature some answers if it's the same gang as
DZ.
I can't remember his name now.
DZ.
Easy, yeah. See if I can find out anything, or if we can kind of get to see like whoever I spot as we're coming into the market. I'll ask them if they can set up a meeting with somebody from the graffiti gang, or sort of let them know and advise a space where we can meet them.
Yeah. Okay. As you make your way through the tunnels and the passageways, you try to avoid the noisier area. So you walk around the back of the market and go around the back tunnels around there. You try to stay away from your haven. That's the word, haven, not hovel. It's technically a hovel because this world.
It's our hovel.
It's a bit shit, this world, but it's your haven.
Hovel.
And you move around and you do eventually come to this. It's called the factory zone, the factory district. Yeah. When you walk in, and Jake looks around for someone he recognizes from his crew.
Yep.
One of them, you actually see one, and one of them looks at you. Eyes suddenly go wide, and just does that.
Okay, I'll kind of put an arm out to Flex and be like, maybe this wasn't a safe place to come. I don't know.
And what we shall do there is we shall take our 10-minute break. It's a good place to kind of stop as you just walked into this place where you're hoping to be safe, but maybe isn't. We'll see. So yeah, we'll just take a 10-minute break. We're probably going to run a little bit short today for various reasons.
Cool.
But yeah, so we shall be back in 10 minutes or so. So everyone go get yourself a drink, get yourself some food, stock up. It's probably about dinner time for most people. So yeah, we shall be back in about 10 minutes if I can find the video. There we go. Right, we shall see you in then. Bye.
Bye.
And we're back, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
No. It's all fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's bad here. Everything's hunky dory. Yeah. So we have just our plucky duo. Alexei is. I think he's probably gone back to the hovel. He's left his favourite knife around somewhere. Or he's gone to destroy the posters or something.
Possibly more likely.
Yeah. And you two, the plucky duo of Flex and Jake, have decided to go somewhere where they thought it might be safe.
Not.
A factory zone, which is the places which are usually left alone by the Second Inquisition. They walk in. Jake recognizes one of his old crew or new crew or whoever they are, and he's just done that to him.
I'm like, I'll melt properly back into the shadows.
Oh, the
Okay.
days of green screens.
Yeah.
Jake,
Yes.
what's going on?
I don't know, but I don't like it. I've had the don't proceed signal. That's usually a bad sign. And then when I kind of raised my eyebrow, they gave me the "we're not shitting you" signal, which is a really bad sign. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like it. I'm really worried because we know the Second Inquisition don't normally come down here, so that suggests it's someone else.
Can you tell them to stop fucking around? I just need a nice loud place to get my thoughts started.
Yeah. David, can I signal to someone to kind of meet us outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll kind of retreat.
Yeah. As you make this hand signal, the guy who did that to you gives you like an okay signal. It's just not too, just like a nod that he understands.
Okay, cool.
And
Yeah. Well,
there's like a 4 fingers on his chest, which you recognise as 4 or 5 minutes.
yeah,
We'll see you
that's
outside.
fine.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe there'd be a piece of like recognized graffiti from my gang that we know to meet at as a kind of safe backup spot if we need it. So I'll
the
take
new
place
version of
there.
a clan graffiti or what clan graffiti from
Yeah.
the V5 book.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have these
something like that.
dotted around
Yeah.
the place. They all mean different things, and you just like, yeah, we'll meet at that one.
Yeah. Cornflakes this way.
But it's louder on the inside.
Oh, maybe for this sort of situation, I'd have like, I don't know. How do you get your music? I'm just thinking maybe I'd have like an emergency memory stick with something like really offensive on it that's particularly noisy. I don't know. Happy hardcore meets Billy Piper or something like that.
This sounds great. Yes.
Yeah.
That's my usual Saturday night. What are you going on about?
Yeah. I'll remove this from a kind of jacket pocket and I'll kind of hand it to Flex and go, there you go, have that. I know it's only short, but it'll have to tide you over.
Thank you. I just got very tired of blood, sweat, and tears.
That's fine. Okay.
It's a remix of Billy Piper, Celine Dion, and some happy hardcore.
That sounds horrifying. Is it My Heart Will Go On?
Yeah. but done as happy hardcore, and then Billy Piper whining at the background.
Of course.
About how she loves the Doctor.
Mm.
But yeah, okay. Yeah, so you make your way to the place where the graffiti is, and you kind of wait around there. Give you a couple of minutes to talk and have the talk that you were going to have inside, but not inside. No,
Yes. So, Flex, Marianne, what do we think? I'm genuinely worried about her.
I'm even more worried that she disappeared as we got the situation under control. Like, she just, I don't know. Did you see how she vanished?
That's an excellent question, David. Did I see how she vanished? Did either of us see how she vanished, or was she just suddenly not there?
She was just suddenly not there, and all you heard in the background was, give me a second. You are the artist to your own life. Don't hand the paintbrush to anyone else. And as you sit there and you have this conversation about whether she's left or not, you hear in the background again, don't downgrade your dreams to fit your reality. Upgrade your convictions to match your destiny.
Okay, so we genuinely don't know where she's gone. Has she got any enemies? Do you think there's anybody that she may have offended? Had she mentioned anything to you, Flex? I know you two have this weird kind of connection sometimes. Has she said anything to you that she's concerned about?
I think that there isn't anybody left from a former life who she didn't use in one of her books. So there are probably a lot of people who aren't on a bad foot with her. But I mean, you must be pretty crazy to get her away from a werewolf to get your revenge or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, the gunfire stopped. There were no attackers on the outside. They weren't even interested in seeing if they succeeded in killing everybody. And as it seems, they weren't even worried about witnesses.
No, and perhaps that they weren't even worried about us either. Because nobody came in to check.
This is just rude. Yeah. I mean, do they even have an idea what I can do to their minds? Like, I'm very offended right now.
You should be. We need to find out who the source of this affront is.
Yes. And
who's responsible for this? And what have they done with our friend?
Okay. This might sound stupid, but if Mariana was the target in the first place, which would explain why the attack stopped with her disappearing and she disappearing as the attack stopped. Then somebody must have known that she was in your company at the point in time when they lured you into this hellhole.
Yes. So do you think that my gang, if it's starting to feel a lot like the gang is implicated in this, but they're using them through me to get to her, maybe?
What kind of very complicated and stupid approach is this?
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe they're just using the gang to get to us, and she was the easiest person, or she was it was an opportune snatching, and she was the one of us who happened to be easy to get their hands on, maybe, because she did end up a little bit on the sidelines, I think, during the fight. Alexei kind of piled in because that's what he does. I stepped in to try and help as much as I could, and you were
Helpful.
yes,
Very helpful.
you were very helpful. But yes, your beast was making sure that you were very helpful. And she'd done what she often does and been the sensible one and stepped back, and that unfortunately I feel like I might have left her vulnerable.
Yeah, but we kind of were in a mess. It would have been so easy to take all of us with the.
Yeah.
Also, they flooded the place in the last minute or so with stink.
Yeah. Maybe they were just a little overconfident about how effective the werewolf was going to be.
Yeah, but wouldn't they want to retrieve their werewolf?
Well, I mean, because we heard kind of like we smelled that smell, didn't we? So maybe that was them approaching. The werewolf didn't smell great, so maybe I don't know. Or maybe we were able to just kind of get out before they came back. Maybe they were giving it a little time.
Okay.
As
I
you
feel
were
like
having
we
this
have.
conversation. One of the we're just going to call them the graffiti gang.
Yep.
I can't be invented with names.
That's fine.
Walks up
Mhm.
and just goes, "What the fuck happened?"
I was, excuse me. I'm just thinking that if somebody speaks to me like that, given I've probably still got a bit of the werewolf blood running through me, I feel like I might kind of turn around and say the same thing back at him and kind of snarl a bit. And then kind of rein it in because this is somebody I'm associated with, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, Merv. Call him Merv. I'm sorry, Merv. It's been a really, really shit day. But yeah, well, I was going to ask you the same thing. We're a person down, and there was some seriously bad shit in there. Can you tell us anything? And what's with the market? Why can't we go in?
It's fucking crawling with fucking Second Inquisition. It's fucking crawling with the guns. Don't know what the fuck you did to piss them off and bring them into the fucking factory zone. They never come in here. Not even the fucking, you know what, the other gangs, those other people who exist in this world that I've got. They've not even fucking putting them off. They are balls out walking through. Everything is on show. They are hunting you. You have pissed them off.
Okay.
Paul.
Sorry, Paul?
I'm just saying, Flex looks like he wants to.
Flex is trying to get his feelings under control and not scream randomly at people. My day started just great. I woke up a little bit peckish. It went worse over the day. Then, without eating anybody, I traversed the fucking place to a safe spot where I can eat. Then shit started to happen, which wasn't our fault, and now I'm covered in person. And these fuckers say that just okay. We were ambushed, and they didn't follow through the ambush.
Have you heard anything, Merv? Is there any whispers from any of the other gangs? Has anybody been asking questions about us?
No one, well, other than those fucking gun-toting psychopaths in there.
Yeah, no, not them. I don't feel this. I know they're kind of riled up, but and this isn't me trying to deflect. I feel like there's another power in play. We think there's another player in town for want of a better
Well,
phrase.
No, you say that. There is somebody with those fuckers.
Oh right.
They weren't armed, and they just walking down the street like they fucking owned the place. Didn't give a shit about anybody else. Didn't
That
seem to
sounds like what I'm after.
Yeah, they had this like they had their hood up. You couldn't see their fucking face, but
Flex, they're
nobody
wearing
would
a
go
hood.
near them. Everybody, all those fucking gun nuts, fucking camo gears. Who fucking wears camo down here? There's no fucking greenery down here. Yeah, they look like they were taking orders from that person. Someone tried to someone tried to shoot him, but the fucking gun didn't work. Don't know what fucking happened there. And then they seem to well, it's a sight I'd never want to see again. But it looked like he fucking exploded from the inside.
The hooded guy.
The guy who tried to shoot the dude with the hood. It looked like he's just
I'll-
fucking
I'll-
exploded.
You.
I'll just look at Flex and I'll be like, see, I said, magic.
It was like big bada boom kind of thing.
I am not reassured. That's some serious power there if they can do that.
It was just kind of rancid, fucking boiling, burnt blood smell on the air. It was fucking disgusting. I lost my fucking dinner. I've got to find another bloody rat now. But yeah, don't mess with that fucker. He looks fucking scary. But yeah, they're tearing through the fucking factory town.
Okay.
They're not
And they're
saying
looking-
much other than where the fuck are they? Where the fuck are they? Where is the beast? Who fucking... Yeah.
Oh. Where the fuck are they? Do they have, I don't know, documentation on us, like pictures they're shoving in people's faces? Do they tell you how many people they're looking for? 3?
Not really. They just seem like they're just fucking turning everything over. They're on a proper fucking mission. Like we're all just fucking hiding something, aren't we? You know how they go. They don't tell you anything. Like you lot don't fucking exist apparently, according to them. So
No.
So it is a really inefficient way to ask people. Like, I mean, shouldn't the people you're asking questions know what you're asking them about?
that's what you fucking think, isn't it? That's what we do. You give them a bit of poking, a bit of stabbing, ask them a few questions, ask them what I want, and you get the answers. This lot, fucking nuts, aren't they?
Yeah, totally. So, gun doesn't work.
David, can I do I'm just thinking, can I do like an intelligence and occult roll just to try and kind of in-game provide some information?
Yep. Yeah, intelligent occult. I'm guessing you're trying to work out who this guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something like a magic bomb we could throw at them?
I got 3 successes.
Cool. Yeah, you are very much aware that this is definitely a mage. You have heard of these. It's definitely a mage. It certainly sounds like a very high level mage.
Yeah. I shall explain this and tell Merv to tell everyone to keep their distance.
Yeah. There's not much really more that you know. They're probably, from what you know, they're probably of the technocracy. One of the few mage schools that has actually survived. Because, well, it's a dystopian cyberpunk future, and who doesn't like technology other than the technocrats? But you've never heard of mages and the Second Inquisition actually working together, and you've never really heard of a real one. You've just heard stories about how fucking terrifying they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what you know.
Yeah.
They're like the boogeyman, I suppose. They're the boogeyman.
feel like they're actively hunting us. I feel like we need to know more about them.
Yeah. What do you know about magic bombs?
Not a lot. My knowledge of and use of magic tends to be a little more ethereal. Well, as you know, anything I do comes out of the shadows.
What do you know about ethereal bombs?
Only that I can't make them yet.
Okay.
Sorry. I need to level up.
I need to get some more experience in this shit.
Yes. I would like to ask Merv if he can get some people to quietly start doing some digging for us about any like have these people who have been around, have they mentioned anywhere that information could be brought to, or anyone that information could be brought to, and is there kind of any news of kind of places where there might be like, would we know where the Second Inquisition is based?
Oh yeah, you'd be aware of their I suppose police stations in a way, you'd call them. They're generally on the surface,
right?
And the underground parts and entrances to them, it's effectively a prison. It's a Fort Knox kind of thing. Nobody goes in or out. Generally, people who go in don't come out again if they're not part of the Second Inquisition.
Yeah.
Especially vampires. You just disappear when you go in. No one ever hears of you again. If you're looking for people who might know information about this, Merv might be able to find people. But he says, yeah, the fucking heat is on you guys at the moment. I cannot be fucking asking people at the moment. Best that you make yourself fucking scarce if you don't want to fucking deal with them.
Yeah.
I want my friend back.
So do I.
I feel like they need to deal with us, and they left us a bargaining chip.
Are you thinking of the wolf?
The monster puppy, they want it back.
Yeah.
And they probably want their implants back.
I was just thinking, do we feel like Alexei might have taken at least a piece of the monster puppy with him?
I envisioned that he wanted to make a coat made of
he
wolf.
wants to make a coat. I think there was definitely a conversation about a coat at one point.
Yeah, so I feel like we have at least some of the wolf that we could use as bargaining.
Yeah, you definitely have the skin, and I'll say you also took the implants.
I thought Flex certainly did.
At least the surface level. Didn't get the bits which went through the brain and pulled them out.
Yeah. So we need to. How do you? Merv, I don't want to put you in danger. So obviously, I don't expect you to. I'm just thinking, how can we try and we need to try and orchestrate some sort of meeting. I don't know. Are we ready for that, Flex?
Not until now, but I got ideas.
Do you want to fucking meet these people?
Well, they got one of us.
Kill you. Why the fuck would you want to meet them?
You know,
mental, you lot.
This whole world is fucking mental.
Yeah.
No,
I am in therapy for this. You should be too.
I fucking am.
Great. Let's see next Tuesday. But until then, I still have to survive.
Yes.
And there's a person who's making this possible. And somebody took her away.
Mm.
How do you know she got fucking taken? How do you know she didn't just fucking leave?
Well, that feels unlike her. Eccentric she may be, but I don't And if there's one thing I know about Marianne, it's that I trust her.
You're right. There is one thing
Go on.
that we didn't consider fully. So please, Murph, answer me honest and from the depth of your heart. Are there any book readings in the area right now?
What the fuck's a book?
So she was taken.
It's not my scene, mate. It's not my scene. I don't fucking pay attention to that shit. I just hang around this fucking place and try not to get shot by the fucking angry bastards. If you want the fucking
Would be
book
really
reading
bad
crowd,
ones.
you need to go to the other market. They'll be able to answer that one.
Okay. But if, yeah. Good.
Fiona, I hope you're watching this.
And if we don't find her there, these techno bubble people better prepare for the largest mental firework they've ever seen.
Yep. I'll hold them down with shadows. You pummel them with your brain.
They are called techno bubbles for a reason, right?
Yes.
And what happens if I push a Jake into some techno bubbles? They plop.
Yes, hopefully. Hopefully.
Great. So, thank you very much.
You're welcome, I guess.
Yeah, needless to say, we weren't here, Merv.
Who the fuck are you? And he walks off.
Bye. Love you too.
Gives you a little bit of a shake of his ass as he walks away.
I think he isn't in the Tuesday group.
I'll invite him.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Do we want to go and check the other market for book clubs?
Yes.
I feel like that we need to eliminate that possibility at least.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go and do that.
By the way, is there any way to enhance your feedback-like features?
Are you thinking you want me to lay the intimidation on a little? I can do that.
No, I'm just planning ahead if we have to fight against techno bubbles.
Yeah. I know I see where you're going. Yeah, we can. I don't know. At the moment, like I need to do some more research before I can. The only other thing I can do is the same as you. If I can get hold of enough blood, I can burn it to make things more potent.
You certainly know where there's a lot of blood lying around.
I think what I take away from the encounter is that they're very powerful. And I don't know if we can compete with them on eye level. So
yeah,
we need to overcharge them in a way and then bring them out of balance if we have to get rid of them.
Yeah.
But first, book clubs.
Yes.
So you're going to head back to the main market?
Yes.
Oh. As you make your way back to the market where you originally saw DZ and Fiona was trying to sell her, not Fiona, sorry, Marianne was trying to sell her recent opus, I think it was.
Yes.
of poetry and goodwill. You begin to, as you get closer, smell burning on the air.
Oh God.
You begin to hear screams and gunfire coming from
No.
the direction of the market.
Flex is following us.
But in a really reversed way, like they are following us to the places where we are going and are there before we arrive.
Yeah.
This is already the third time. Are we chasing them?
We're chasing them and we just don't realize it. I'd like to think we're qualified to chase them, but I feel like when we catch them, it's going to be a nasty surprise.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or they're just really bad at chasing us.
Hmm.
Maybe I would like to have a talk with the management.
Yeah. Do we okay. This might sound really stupid.
I'm all for it.
But we could just walk out in the middle of the market and see what happens. Kind of Butch Cassidy and Sundance style.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
realise you may not
ladies
have
and
seen
gentlemen, thank you for listening to V52121 Dystopian Vampire. This has been the end of the story. As they die in a burst of flames. No. Would you like to make me an Sense the Unseen roll, please?
Yes, as an alternative.
Before you just walk into the middle of this shit show.
I also could try to get another premonition.
Yeah, you can try a premonition as well, Flex.
But
an excellent idea. I'll even hand you my Darren Brown tarot deck to do it with.
Oh, poor Darren
Brown. Okay, I got 3 successes.
Mm-hmm. There appears to be, at the distance you are from the market, you can't for certain say that there's nothing there, but it certainly feels like there is nothing untoward there. It's just humans killing humans. You can certainly smell the blood on the air of just normal, pure, unadulterated food, and a bit of tang of the metallic bullets and the burning wood, and maybe a bit of a barbecue going on as well.
Nice.
This is probably the worst reception of one of her books I've ever seen.
Yeah. Is it reminiscent of the smell that we found everywhere else?
No, this is just like normal blood. There's nothing wrong with this blood at all.
Right. Okay. So no technocrat here, probably.
Flex, do you want to do your premonition?
Yes. And I really try to get an idea of where Mariana is right now. And I'm pulling...
So with the premonition then, would you be looking at Mariana, or are you going to be looking at the market?
Mariana.
Okay. I'm sorry, Fiona. I'm going to take control of your character.
I'm pulling up my tarot deck. It is comprised of a series of broken smartphones.
I'll put Darren Brown away then.
They all got...
They were working before Jake turned up.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
And I used this tarot deck on them, but they constantly broke, and so they can only show one picture each. And so I shuffle the smartphones.
Genius.
And and draw from the pile because you can't handle them in any other way.
Yep.
I'll just kind of stand next to you and kind of whistle nonchalantly, and like just nod at the passers-by. Like, hi. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Nothing
No.
nothing unusual.
Nothing strange. Move on.
I have to add an hunger die, right?
Yeah, hunger die. Remember, you can also
And it
spend a
replaces
willpower.
one of the dice, right?
Yep.
Well, it's 2 successes.
You can spend because willpower. Obviously, your willpower should have refreshed at the beginning of the session. So you can spend a willpower to re-roll all your failures.
We'll do this. And this surprises me with a second 10 and another 9.
Ooh,
So I'm at 6 successes.
nice.
That's what we want.
Well, so as you are shuffling your smartphones and the images on the phones kind of flick in and out in the presence of Jake, it's just the same image. It's just one image on each phone, but it like the power is a little bit iffy around Jake, even though Jake is probably trying to rein it in a little bit. You kind of get the feeling that the images, when you start flicking through the phones at a certain speed, the images seem to tell a story. And when you start shuffling it, they seem to line up into a series of events that happened. You're not sure whether they have happened or whether they are about to happen. But it's of Marianne. She is very, very happy in her usual way. And she is telling people about her poetry and how happy life is. There's no drama, there's no sense of danger or emergency in there. She walks into a room. She gets up on a stage in front of a crowd. It's dark on the stage. There's a wooden stick with what appears to be, you'd recognize as a microphone, but it doesn't appear to be connected to anything. Wrappers on the floor, newspapers discarded everywhere, and then somebody shines a light onto Marianne, and she stands there beaming as if she's maybe entered the stage of the Royal Albert Hall in front of 10,000 people about to read to royalty. She pays no attention to the ragtag group of people who are in front of her in this dive bar. And she clears her throat and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's reading." And she opens her mouth and she begins to read one of her poems. "Never trust a mirror, for the mirror always lies. It makes you think that all your worth can be seen from the outside." And you get the feeling that she is okay. She is fine. She's not in any danger. That she is actually doing things that she enjoys doing, but she just couldn't be around the violence. It didn't vibe with her. It threw her off. It threw off her game, and she just had to get out of there. So Marianne is safe, is what you get from all of this. You get a vague sense of where she is, and we will deal with that when Fiona is back and Marianne is actually back. But yeah, she is safe. She has not been kidnapped by the whoever attacked you or whatever attacked you. Yeah, and walking into the market is probably You also see at the end of the flash of it, two of the images on the phone. One is of an explosion, and the other is of two people standing in the middle of a fire, surrounded by dead bodies.
Do those two people happen to look slightly dead? And is one of them wearing?
They've got blood all around their face.
Okay. I'll look at Flex.
That's the Flex. That is what you have. That is what you gleaned from your shuffling of the smartphones.
I got a lot of bad news for you.
Okay.
All theories are off the table. Nothing makes sense anymore. I don't understand what's happening.
Oh, that's just a normal day for us. You said there were two people at the end.
Yes.
I mean, at least we think. I don't know. Do you? At least you feel like Marianne's safe?
Yeah, she's safe, but oh wait. Yeah, she's safe.
Okay.
That's important.
Yes.
That's good.
But then you saw two people with blood. I don't know. I kind of almost kind of self-consciously, I'll like wipe my lips. Have I got blood around my face?
Yes, you've got werewolf blood around your face.
Oh, of course I do. Yeah. Okay.
unless you wiped it off, I'll leave that up to you.
We are painted human right now.
Yeah. I'll kind of look at you and then look at the market. Did you see the market explode?
I saw a explosion. It's kind of hard to tell when it will happen. You know,
yeah.
Time is kind of messy in these things.
Yeah. Plus, you also know that, like most tarots, the explosion may not necessarily mean a physical explosion. It may be something just related to the image.
Yeah,
it could be other things. It may not actually be an explosion.
Destruction, or
you don't need to take it too literally.
Yeah. Although it was very literal about the poem. You know, this is. You know what the crazy part is?
Well,
it's like in these moments, things start flooding into my head, and after that, it's just empty again, and you're left with these after images of what you've heard and seen, and it's Well, okay. So I'd like not to end up in the middle of a marketplace full of shooting people.
I second that.
Great.
Yes. So I feel like maybe we should remove ourselves from the market. Yes.
Better idea. Yes.
Yes. I feel like maybe we need to go and find Alexei. I don't know.
You should be in the hovel.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's anything we can do. It's starting to feel like my gang is off limits.
I think a lot of people are off limits. This whole situation does feel like a purge. And I don't know who poked the hornet's nest.
No. I don't feel like we've done enough to poke it this badly.
Yes.
My only other thought is, do you think it would be worth us going and scoping out the entrance to the Second Inquisition headquarters just to see if there's anything different about it? Or do you think that would be a monumentally stupid idea?
It's not as stupid as standing free on the marketplace and look who's shooting you.
Yeah. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Let's go do that.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So you're going to go and find the Second Inquisition, hidey hole.
Yeah, just I feel like it's somewhere that we'd have at least kind of.
You're definitely aware of where it is because it's a place that you generally try to avoid and not go near.
I feel like it's somewhere that potentially Alexei would keep half an eye on. Maybe.
Alexei has contacts who watch it and know
Yeah.
about it.
Not directly himself necessarily, but I feel like he'd certainly probably get other people to keep half an eye on it for him, so we'd have an idea of what things should look like there.
I feel like he has attack plans on this place.
Yes, probably.
Everybody in the town that you're in is aware of this place and aware of what it looks like because nobody wants to go near it because it's effectively a Secret Service place where people disappear.
Yeah.
Yep. So you are aware of where it is. It is not too far from the market. It's
No.
the other side of town from where your hovel is because you don't really want to stay near it.
No.
But you're aware to get near it is quite hard. There are traps and surveillance systems and security systems around not just the building itself, but around the streets around there to catch kindred. Because they obviously, why would a kindred want to walk into the hornet's nest?
Mindy.
So you're aware of where some of these are. Obviously, Alexei's not with you. He wouldn't be able to, you can't get a full idea of this. But if you want to risk moving towards the hornet's nest, you are more than.
I don't know. What do you think, Flex? Or do you think we'd be better waiting for a bit of backup to try that?
I mean, we could do waiting or we could do something interesting.
I tend to lean towards the something interesting. Yeah.
Me too.
Cool.
Let's try this.
Let's do it.
Okay. Right.
We don't want to go in there. We just want to get close and see who enters. What are the attack teams looking like?
Yeah.
So how close do you want to get? Do you want to try and sneak past some of the surveillance
Maybe
hardware, or do you want to?
But for example, I'm imagining it's the sort of place that probably has these sorts of places tend to have kind of open areas in front of them so that they can easily see people approaching. So we probably want to get to the edge of that open area, maybe. How does that sound, Flex? Yeah. So kind of not, we don't want to go up to the doorstep, but we want to get to a point where we can potentially see the front door from a distance.
Yes, no, Flex?
I would like to see the front door.
Okay. In that case, as you get towards, you head towards it. You know exactly where it is. Some of the surveillance systems, you are very much aware of where they are. They're very, very clear, big ass cameras on the walls that are watching you.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of checks or anything that you want to do, or are you just going to blazingly walk up to this place?
Oh, and I feel like stealth is the better part of valor, kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think, Lex?
Yeah, I'm totally for this, and I gonna do my thing. I gonna get an idea of the place and the dangers that lurk out there, and
yeah,
I gonna lift my headphones and use heightened senses. That means I add my aspects to our perception rolls.
Yep.
And I would like to roll a perception roll.
So this game obviously has no such thing as perception. wonderfully. What kind of things are you looking for? So, in what kind of way are you trying to perceive things?
Mm,
So, are you trying to perceive a way to get to see the building without being caught? Are you trying to look for specific traps or surveillance equipment, or are you trying to look to see if there's anybody weird heading towards this place? What
I
are you looking
am
for?
I am looking for traps and surveillance stuff. That's my usual role. I'm not concerned with finding ways or stuff like this. I'm counter intelligence.
Counterintelligence. Okay. um, so I will let you choose between intelligence and wits as to whichever you feel is more appropriate. And then I'll also let you choose between investigation and technology.
This is a awesome pool.
Just because you could be investigating and knowing where to look, where someone might hide it, or you'd be able to look and see whether using the technology, looking and seeing whether that technology could be used as surveillance.
Dear,
So which pools are you using?
I used my wits plus my investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And since I'm using heightened senses, I got my Auspix rating
Yep.
to this roll, which gave me 10 dice in total.
Whoa.
And I rolled 3 10s, 1 9, and a 7 on my hunker die.
Well done.
Cool. So you got what, 4, 5, 7 successes, I think, in that. You can definitely, as you are walking up, and with your previous knowledge that Alexei has muttered about how he would love to one day take on this place as a one-man army that he is, you're aware of some of the places which have hidden surveillances, and then you're kind of using that knowledge, looking around, looking the streets, looking at how certain people are behaving. You can definitely find a way through with no issues for yourself, but you are aware that a certain person with you who has issues with technology, there's no way for Jake to come through. Any slight variation in the behavior of the surveillance equipment, even Jake is aware of this. They would just come straight out.
Yeah.
So
Maybe I need to hang back.
yeah, you can watch for people, but yeah,
Yeah.
especially the number of surveillance things out there that are based on technology, even if they're just little beepers that are screwed into a wall.
Yeah, if I go anywhere near them, they're going to go.
Yeah.
Fix.
They're very, very aware of the La Sombra, and they don't like you because you can basically fuck them over so easily.
Okay. I think I can get there.
Okay.
I might need you to get me out if things start getting bad.
Okay.
You can discern this by my cursing or dying noises.
Oh, okay. I shall listen attentively.
Great.
Yeah. If it gets really bad, start singing ABBA lyrics.
That I can totally do. It really fits into the whole suffocating thing I'm probably gonna do then.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Brilliant. Okay, I shall wait here and I shall listen attentively. I'll conceal myself in the shadows whilst I'm waiting. Just so there's no chance of somebody spotting me.
So you're going to use your
Cloak of
Cloak of
Shadows.
Shadows, yeah, which is free, isn't it? I think it's free, but you have to do a roll. I can't remember now. Cloak of Shadows.
I think it was free, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah, it's free. Yeah, and there's no roll. Cool. Just give me 1 second. Will I just check something?
Yep.
I don't listen to any noises coming from my microphone.
Okay.
Okay. We won't.
As you hear me rolling a butt on a dice there. Oh wow! I should never roll fucking dice. Okay. No,
Oh.
no. Right. That was depressing. So yeah, you have put up your Cloak of Shadows, and you're just going to stand in the corner, put your head up maybe, and like become this.
Yep. Yep. I would.
Ooh.
Jake would totally have a hood. Yeah. Yeah. He would have gone shopping for as close to a cape as he could get.
Yeah. The blackest of black 4.0.
Yes. That black that guy copyrighted.
Oh yeah, no, he copyrighted Black 2.0, but there's now a Black 3.0.
Oh, cool. Right. Okay, we'll have that. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you hide in the shadows and flex. You manage to get through all of the security sensors that you're aware of, and you get to the edge of this open region, and it's maybe 100 meters by 100 meters square, vastly open, and from where you are to the fence that leads into the Second Inquisition base is probably 40 meters away from you. So there's a 30-40 meter bit of open ground between you and the first fence, and then there's another fence behind that, so maybe 5 meters gap between the fences. It looks very much like you'd expect a prison to look. There's the fences actually go all the way up to the ceiling of this underground place, so they're really, really tall. There's an armored gateway that you can see that leads through the fence, through one fence, and then the other entrance to the other fence is further along, so you'd have to go in, across, and then in. And then beyond that is a very big concrete bunker. There is one doorway, and there are no windows. The doorway appears to be a double door that could probably take a truck. It is made of steel and looks very sturdy. There are guards at each entrances. There are 4 guards at each entrance, looking somewhat bored, I would guess, like they've been stood there for a very, very long time. And there appears to be guards walking on the inner, on that like channel between the 2 fences as they are going around. And you can see many, 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 many security cameras around the area. There doesn't appear to be anything obvious that is off that you can see at the moment.
Great. I assumed that this would entail some waiting on my part.
Yep. And what we shall do there, so I think this is a nice place to leave it. And next time we can bring in, hopefully, Alexi and Marianne. I'm going to say you could have maybe, while you're waiting, one of Alexi's minions has seen you and has gone to collect him.
That sounds good.
And next time
That sounds very good.
Bring them in. I don't want to go too far into a story without those 2 around. So, but yeah, certainly a lot of weirdness has happened and we certainly
Yeah.
discovered a few interesting things about this. So.
Yeah, it's a very, very confusing situation. The city is burning, and it's not the player character's fault.
For a change. Well, yeah.
It's not
It's
like
your
we
fault for
placed.
existing in the world, I feel.
Yeah, but we didn't place a werewolf mecha android in a.
Monster cyber puppy.
Yes, the
Yeah.
monster cyber puppy. We didn't place it into a club full of people and launched a gas attack on it and then set a market on fire.
No.
You know, it wasn't me who burned the tavern.
Yeah. Cool. So yes, that has been an episode of 2121 Dystopian Vampire. I hope you enjoyed the game. Obviously, we were expecting 3 people, but we have heard where Ben is, and we wish him well,
Yes.
and hope that he recovers. But yeah, we shall adjourn this. We'll be back at some point, hopefully not too far away. We won't leave it a couple of months between episodes again.
Yeah.
And that stuff. But yeah, so I should go around and let you two introduce yourself and say who you are, where people can find you, and then we'll end it. So we'll start this time with Paul. Paul, who are you, and where can people find you, and what do you do?
So my name's Paul Smith. I do not do anywhere near as much exciting stuff as everyone else, but you can find me on Twitter at Tattoo Loverboy. And if you want to look on Instagram, you can find me at Swords After Dark, which is mostly full of my miniature stuff. So that's me.
And then we have the other bodiless voice in the void. We basically had 2 bodiless voices in the void today, and my face. Mr. Tom, who are you?
Yeah.
What do you do, and where can people find you?
I'm Tom Moore. I am preparing a lot of stuff right now. I'm preparing something very, very exciting for 2021, which I hope to be able to announce officially soon. What do you actually about this? And aside of this, I need to be in more places, but also it's kind of a busy time of the year and stuff. So I'm not as present as I used to be. And aside of this, I used up all my dice luck today, and I'm really looking forward to 9th of December when I'm going to play Alien with David and a host of podcasters. And I assume I'm gonna horribly die then. So
You've assumed that every game so far, and so far somehow you've managed to survive, and I don't quite understand it.
it's the magic of Gunnery Sergeant Mason. They will carry me. So yeah, you can find me on a lot of Discord servers at this point, like Carrying Comfort Studios, Warped Tales, Scanner Gaming, Onyx Path, and yeah, also on Twitter at Tom Mur, and then the number 2.
Yeah, cool. And last but not least, me. I am David. I am the Drunken Storyteller. I do a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot of. I run games occasionally on this channel.
Do a lot.
Yeah, so there should be more games going on this channel, but I'm in the last 4 months of a PhD, so life has suddenly taken a dramatic change and gone, oh crap, I need to do a lot of work and not much time to do it. So there are still games happening, so as I say, we will hopefully pick this up again soon, early in the next year. On December 9th, we have part 4. I've just noticed in the tweet that I put out earlier today, I put part 3, but it's actually going to be part 4 of Alien Destroyer of Worlds, where we have, obviously, Tom is playing with us. Fiona is in that game. Fiona from What Am I Rolling, who should be here today, but she's in America. Then we have James Shakeshaft from the Lawmen Pod is in there, and so is Mark Norman from the Folklore Podcast there. They have managed to survive remarkably well. Only met one alien so far. But yeah, things are about to get messy. Not that they know this, but yeah. And then on December 12th, we have a special holiday Vessen game happening. I have players locked in, but I'm not going to officially announce them yet, just in case. But yeah, so that's going to be a special holiday-themed Vessen game on December the 12th. So expect some of your not so normal folklore, Christmas folklore Vessen stuff. We have that. In the new year, we are going to play some Never Going Home. That was meant to happen in December, but schedules wouldn't match up because it's that time of year where nobody has free time to do anything. You can obviously go and also find my podcast where I tell folklore and folk tales. That is going to be... The next episode is going to be out next week. I'm going to discuss a lot of things about the future of the podcast because I'm kind of changing the way it works. My kidneys can't cope anymore with the way I currently run it. So, yeah. So if there will be some folklore in that, they're going to be doing some folklore and changelings. But there's also a little bit of a discussion about where I want to take the podcast in the future. But yeah, so that's me. Our other player, Alexi, with Ben. You can find Ben at Watch Aitken on Twitter. He's run a few games on here as well. You can go and watch our other games, the previous version of this, the Alien games, the Vessen game, the Soulbound game run by Rob, and some all the other good stuff you can find over on the YouTube channel, The Drunken Storyteller. You can find them there, and you can find me on Twitter at The Drunken Store #1. If you want to go and find me there. I'm not very active on social media. I'm a bit shit at it, which is probably why I don't do very well at getting people to watch games. So anyway, it's good fun to run them at least. So thank you very much for Tom and Paul for today. I hope everybody enjoyed the game. Do let us know if you did. Don't let us know if you didn't. And we shall see you in the next episode. Come and watch Alien. It's fun.
Looking forward to Alien.
Oh, it's so much fun. Such
And it
Alien
is-
is such a good game.
Yes, and it has a active chat throughout the whole game, which is such a delight.
Yeah.
If you can't be silly on camera, at least you can be silly in the chat.
We're silly. You're silly on camera. We're all silly on camera during Alien, even though you're all trying not to get yourself killed.
You're much better at being silly. So
Yeah. Having a semi-professional comedian and a semi-professional
comedian.
What's she called? Improv actor on it just kind of it all goes a little bit sideways. It's great fun. Also, the system is amazing and the world is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite RPG systems out there. So yeah. Oh, the other thing I'm doing as well, I completely forgot about this, is Darker Days Radio. I'm on Darker Days Radio, where we talk about mostly World of Darkness and Chronicles of Darkness games. We will be doing an interview soon, actually talking about Vessen, because next week, new to Kickstarter, will be the Mythic Tales of Britain and Ireland expansion book, source book for Vessen. So they are expanding the world. So we're going to have an interview with I think one of the writers on Darker Days Radio soon about that. So do check out Darker Days Radio for that in the next week or so, which is cool. Other than that, I think that's it. I don't think I've got anything else to say. Anybody else got anything to say?
Nope.
Nope. Cool.
Just
okay.
more.
Yeah, Tom.
I promise to try and fix my video the next time.
Well, it kind of works with you being a somber and fading into oblivion and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
I might try running it on my phone and see if that's more quieter apart from anything else.
I thought we just agreed on it being a feature.
Yeah.
we were gonna. we paid a lot of money for this special effect, Paul.
Yes.
It's not a problem with technology. It's a real special effect that we paid money for. God damn it!
Yes. Damn it.
Don't spoil the illusion. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we shall see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.